Hello. I am live today. I am just live on YouTube, but this replay will be available in the other platforms so you can catch it. Well, obviously, if you're here on YouTube, you're catching on YouTube, but you can also view it on Facebook and not quite yet Instagram with the replay. But today, I'm here on YouTube connecting with you, and let's get to it. This is one of my favorite topics. Lots of things I discuss on this channel are my favorite topics, okay? And I create content to address your needs because so much information about twin flames these days have moved away from a lot of what's really happening. And I want to say, when I got started on this journey, I heard a lot more about the mirror technique, mirror exercise, a particular group that would talk about the mirror exercise, but there is truth to that. There is truth to it. But before you believe it's twin flame, I'm going to let you know all of this stuff is not twin flame related, okay? So everything you're learning, experiencing on this journey, not everything, most of the stuff, because you are spiritually guided. Matter of fact, you've always been spiritually guided. And so many of this stuff is not twin flame related. So we need to take the twin flame part out and figure out how to stop attaching yourself to the physical body of another person, okay? Because it's not doing anything for you on this journey when you're attaching yourself to what they're saying, thinking, doing, feeling, when they're going to show up, when they're going to do all of this kind of stuff. No, none of that will help you on this journey, okay? And I see Walt is here. Hi, Walt. Okay, so you'll get some great information here, Walt. Take notes, guys. I say that right. Take notes. You're going to learn about this mirror technique. I like to call it technique because I stay authentic and different in that kind of stuff. It's not different. It's not, I want to say it's not really different from like the mirror exercise, mirroring, or anything you hear out there, but I put a special touch and I call it the mirror technique. Okay. So that, when you hear the mirror technique, you're like, oh, okay, it's Sheen. There you go. Okay. Your journey, this is a journey of you. This has been a journey of you, not of another person, not that crazy ex that you were with, or some of these crazy folks that you came across, or your karmic connections with whoever, past person, family, all this kinds. It's been a journey about you the entire time. And when you find your twin flame, that's when the wait a second, I connected with myself. This person really understands me. This is like on a deeper level. For the first time in my life, I feel normal. That was me. I was like, wow, I feel normal. All my experiences and everything, just knowing someone else can relate and that kind of stuff. So the pain, you get triggered with the pain and so on, and it wakes you up. Now you're aware, you become aware, hey, I have these things going on inside of me. All this stuff is surfacing. At least that was me. I was like, how on earth am I having this much pain with it from a connection? I didn't really know. It wasn't even that much time. Like, where did all this pain come from, right? And that's what started my healing journey, looking inward and saying, why am I feeling this much pain like this? Why did I experience these, these phenomenal stuff, right? Like, why did it feel like I was connecting with myself and all of this kind of stuff? Okay. So that's a little bit of a background. Here's how the mirror technique gets used wrong. Okay. And if you have been doing it this way, please stop in this moment right now. Stop using this moment. I want to make sure you see my fingers. Stop using the mirror technique this way. Many people will look at their twin flame and say, I wouldn't treat myself that way. they're doing X, Y, and Z. They're running away. They're not answering my phone calls. They're being kind of rude. They are rude. They are addicted to different things, drugs, alcohol. They have all these issues. Their negative mindset. I do not treat myself that way. Okay? If you are doing this, nothing's going to change on the outside. Nothing. And it's not related to your twin flame. This is with what you are attracting into your physical space, what you're attracting into your reality. The blueprint that's been in your subconscious mind is showing up in your physical space and in your connection, twin flame or not twin flame related. Because I understand some people are finding soulmate connections and so on. That is another live for me to do on that, because people get worried. They're like, oh my goodness, I did all this healing work. Why is this soulmate coming in and all this kind of stuff? And it's not a body, a particular body of a person, because usually that soulmate connection, this is happening to some of you, the journey continues. Your healing, your ascension continues. Okay, nothing about it change. And I know some people are like, oh, well, forget the twin flame. I'm going to find a soulmate. It doesn't work that way either. Okay, it does not work that way. Your soul calls in the person, and it's usually unexpected. Now, if you're like 𝐏𝐫𝐞𝐻, no, that's being an ego because you're creating this kind of stuff. That's fine. Whatever information resonates with you, okay? These are the things that I am aware that's taking place out here, and I'm not going to blind myself to it. I will share with you what's happening. All right. So whoever it may be, when in this particular case, we'll say twin flame, this is twin flame channel. This is your twin flame, okay? And so the person shows you these behaviors, and you're like, I don't understand. It's not for me. This mirror thing is a blame thing. It's like, is blaming the victim. I'm the victim in this case. Why am I being blamed for their behavior? Now, your person, the person you feel a deep connection with, mirrors beliefs that are within yourself. Beliefs that are there on a subconscious level, cellular level, from this lifetime, previous lifetime, generational, all this kind of stuff shows up in the person. And so I want to use an example, like my person is addicted to something, whatever they may be addicted to, right? And so you're like, well, I don't have this addiction. You know, with the mirror technique, you're looking within, and you're actually really listening to what you're saying, because it's not by the eyes, it's what's coming out from your ego, what your ego is saying. I will never tolerate that. I would never, or something like that. So you're going within and finding out where within you is not aligned with what you're saying. Okay? Because if a particular thing is showing up in your physical space, it's a creation of whatever is in your subconscious thoughts. And it's not just related with twin flame. This can be around money. Like if you struggle with money, there is some sort of belief within yourself that's showing up in that reality, and it's affecting your ability to bring money in. And this is why I say it's super important to be aware of what you're saying. It starts with what you are saying. And then you slow down and figure out, where is this coming from? Okay. And you shift that belief. We have different ways that you can do that to shift the belief. The mind might be still stuck on this old belief, and it's going to find a way to go back to this old belief. They're not doing this, they're not showing up, and all this kind of stuff, because that's what the mind does. You're seeing past that. You're seeing past the mind, and make great effort to see past the mind. This journey is not about your mind. and the stuff your mind is saying. It's not. It's what your soul is leading you towards, and what your soul is saying. Okay. And the reality that you're seeing came as a result of your old thinking and beliefs and so on. And I am open to anyone who wants to question this and say, okay, I'm still confused. I don't get it, things like that. Hi, Tariq. I pray all is well. You're having a glorious day. Thank you so much. And I pray the same for you and for everyone else watching this. I do wish well for everybody. So I really appreciate that, Tariq. Okay. Here's a problem when we see relationship in all of this. We're like, I want a relationship. I'm ready to have this relationship. Why is this person not showing up? Relationship ideas come with rules. And you may not be aware of the rules. You're like, I'm trying to eliminate the rules. Like, I don't want these rules around, right? I understand relationship ideas will do that. But the ego is sneaky. The ego is sneaky and may start to plant yourself onto the person or onto money or whoever it's planting itself onto. And another thing, this comes from early childhood. Yes, it does. Okay. It plants itself and starts to create these expectations. I need them to call. I need them to show up. I need them to do things for me that I really should be doing for myself. Okay. One of the reasons couples struggle in connection is because of control and expectations and having an idea that things are supposed to look a certain way. Okay. And when issues come up, a lot of times there isn't that inner work around the issue. There's more of, I see this person, it's that person, this person is doing this kind of stuff to me. Instead, ask yourself, what am I learning? What am I being shown here? What do I need to learn from this experience? What is it from my past that's showing up here that's looking this way? And when you do this, you heal the connection within yourself. My light's been flickering and that kind of stuff. If it means anything to any of you, if you're like, oh boy, I've been seeing light flickers everywhere and her light's flickering, it just, what's that word? Confirm something. Okay, let it confirm something. My lights are just like they're flickering, right? And so it heals the connection. When you're not using the mirror and you're looking at the person and you're sitting in pain. When I say looking, it's like even energetically, your mind is thinking of the person and you're sitting in pain and you're like, they need to change something. So their behavior needs to change. Something needs to change and so on. It doesn't change. It doesn't change. Because this person serves as a reflection for the things in your subconscious thoughts. And they were not the first one to do it. I talk about the crazy ex sometimes, the ex is crazy. They're crazy, right? No judgment. I'm just joking with you guys, right? Is to take a look at that. Is not to take a look at that. Is to understand even that connection was teaching you things. Whether it's around setting boundaries, perhaps, twin flames addicted to stuff. It's not you can't deal with that. That's your soul saying, like you got to listen to your soul. Your soul is like, no way. Not me. I didn't say it. The psychics that you may follow are maybe you're like, oh, I think it's them who's saying it. The videos that you watch to try to understand what to do with this are not the ones saying it. Okay. I call these helpers so you can see it inside of yourself. Any readings you might follow that seems to resonate, my contents that resonate, the other YouTube, whatever, your social media post that seems to resonate. Why does it resonate? Because your soul's talking to you. You're coming back to your soul. And if your twin flame is they're doing stuff that's not aligned, oh, their truth, right? Spiritual validation, are you speaking all truth? That doesn't align with your truth, your inner truth, because your inner truth is talking to you. It's saying, no, I'm not. This is not a part of it. And so what we've done in the past, I certainly did, was ignore the voice that's saying something. We're like, I'm not strong enough. I want this connection. I don't want to be alone. My clock is ticking. I need my family. If I confront this, I'm going to feel abandoned by them. If they don't resonate, if their ideas, thoughts, and beliefs don't align with me, it's going to be painful. So I'd rather not listen to that inner voice that's talking and saying something to you, because it's saying something. That inner voice is leading towards your healing. That's what it's doing. Your soul is like, listen, I need you to understand this. We are on an ascension path. You're ascending. Everything that doesn't align with the highest version of yourself is falling off. And the way it falls off is that we're communicating this to you. We're saying, hello, your person who's doing X, Y, Z, addicted to whatever it may be, does not resonate on this ascension path, is not in alignment with the highest version of you. Okay? And why of you? Because it's a mirror. Like your outer reality is your mirror. Okay? It has been that way. The connections you experience, mirror. Okay? They're not in alignment. Your soul is saying this, no, is not a part of it. And when you ignore this, that inner voice, that soft whisper that says, this is not acceptable. You may find that the situation continues to worsen. Your health you start over worrying, your health takes effect, all this kind of stuff, because it's not in alignment. So whatever your voice is saying, but this is the first step, is to really hear the voice, but to also go within and say, all right, because this has shown up in my reality, where did that come from? Where did that come from? And if you're a twin flame, if you're like that, well, they don't hear a word I say. They don't hear a word I say. Okay, so where did that come from? Where did the belief that the divine masculine or feminine, or whoever it may be, doesn't listen to me? Perhaps when you were younger, you tried to explain something to someone and you didn't feel heard. And now it's showing up as a mirror where all these people don't seem to hear you or give you attention or help you, or whatever you find yourself saying. Okay? And you connect with that part. This is how you use the mirror. It's like, this belief does not align with the reality that I'm choosing for myself, for you, not them. You know, where we went wrong for so many years. Like, I see this in the chats on the Facebook groups, perhaps Instagram too, you know. This person did this to me. What do I do? They treated me this way. What do I do? And all this kind of stuff, because we were taught to be outside of ourselves, go along with what they're doing, what they're thinking, what they're saying, all this kind of stuff. Meanwhile, we're sacrificing ourselves in that connection because everything is on the outside. I need them to fulfill something inside of me. I need them to do whatever the story may be. Okay. No, this is a journey of you, in connection with what aligns with you. Being a creator, because you already are, you know, now you're consciously creating instead of unconsciously creating this reality that just looks like it's not aligned, right? Now you're consciously doing it, and you're becoming aware that you are co-creator, because it's you in the universe. You in the universe, not you and that person, you in the universe. Okay? Co-creating. And you're taking a look at the things you're saying, because they came from somewhere. Those limiting beliefs, I'm not good enough, they don't want me, all this kind of stuff came from somewhere. And this person serves as a mirror to whatever these things are. Okay. And here's what happens when you use the mirror technique. Something very, very important to understand, because a lot of you have done a great amount of healing, which is wonderful. If you haven't, or if you want to go even further, I have a link below with a calendar, with my calendar. So you can get on an initial free call with me to determine if we're the right fit to work together. Okay. So the link is below. There's also a link to my free masterclass, Release Ego Blocks to Twin Flame. It's a long title. So that masterclass is available right now for you to view below. I had pulled up myself here, so you might have heard my voice. I was looking for the title of it, but that masterclass is available because the ego creates separation. The ego makes you feel like this person is distant. It's still a part of this journey. There's a lot of information. Balance your energy. They'll come back. The ego is still a huge part of this journey. The mirror technique is still a huge part of the journey, because your soul is revealing to you the things that are not in alignment with the highest version of you, of love, God's love, expression of love, beauty, unconditional love, all this kind of stuff. This is what we're headed towards. It's still a factor, but it's not, I love this person on the outside. It's inside of you, and it gets reflected on the outside of you. Okay. So I'm going back to, this is what happens when we're using the mirror. We've been healing. We're doing really great. It looks like the person's life begins to fall apart. Okay. Again, this is one possibility. Take what resonates with you. It will look like that person's life is falling apart. And there is a huge part of you, and this is ego, that will say, oh my goodness, I need to help them. I need to fix this. Okay. Either it will say that, or societal beliefs will kick in and say, I deserve better. Nope. I don't like this. I'm so proud of myself that I disregarded this connection, because these are behaviors I don't tolerate, or something like that. Our mind goes into stories about what's happening to keep us safe. Move from that. Whatever your mind is saying, when you're looking in the physical and you're like, oh, they're doing this, this, and that, it contributes to they're doing this, this, and that. Real important. You're still creating your reality. There's a law of the universe we cannot get away from. Let's remember these things exist. This is one of the reasons I spend a lot of time in connection within and with God, and to hear what's going on, and to align with that, and to move in truth as much as possibly can. And so some of you have done some healing. You're like, 𝐏𝐫𝐞𝐩, I moved in truth, and it looks like nothing's changing with them. That's a lie. That's the mind. Okay. While you are healing, they're shifting as well. And before you make it a twin flame thing, it is not. Okay. Let's let that go. This is not a twin flame thing. Okay. The law of attraction, the law of manifestation, your subconscious belief shifting, the rewiring of your mind, the cleaning of your your cells, anything like this, the aligning of your chakras, all of this affects your physical reality. So it is impossible. And I hear some people say, well, no, my twin is stuck in a pattern. Okay. They're stuck in a pattern. I sense it. They're not choosing. And if this is what you're feeling like this is your reality, then that is a part of your reality. I'm not going to question anyone's. Okay. But here's what happens. When you shift within, the outer shifts too. But because we do have free will, because free will is the issue. Free will is the issue that gets in the way, okay? So keep that in mind. It is that whole free will thing, or the perception of free will, because your soul's leading this. And when we step into that free will, we're like, I'm going to exercise my free will and I'm going to do things my way. Boom, signs, synchronicities, messages, dreams, you name it. The universe is like, I don't think so. You can run, but you can't hide, right? And so their life appears to fall apart, or seems like that's happening, because this is ego degradation. The ego is breaking down. You're healing your ego. You're overseeing. You're like, I'm looking past the ego and I'm trusting my intuition. I'm moving with soul. So you shift, they shift too. Okay? They shift too. Again, take what resonates. But the divine masculine, especially, it can be feminine too, in this connection is mostly grounded, ego focused, okay? Perhaps doesn't understand a whole lot of the spirituality part. Even those who are spiritual, you might be like, my twin is spiritual. Like, I don't understand what they're not getting about this, right? Even those who are spiritual. Because what happens is we doubt ourselves. It's like, oh, I'll do everything for you. I'm spiritual. I'm going to help you heal your energy. We're going to heal things from your past and all this kind of stuff. But I'm not going to look at myself. That's too scary. My intuition is talking to me. I don't know how to trust it. No different than those they're serving. Okay? When people come close and say, well, I want healing because I don't trust my intuition, this person may not even trust it for themselves. This is one of the reasons why I truly recommend, if you're in the service of helping others, listen carefully. Take notes during your sessions and apply it to yourself. You know, I work really hard to do that. To walk by faith in my words and my action, and to make sure they are aligned. And yes, I go through ego degradation too, where I'm like, I don't know if I can listen to my intuition right now. I don't know how to do all of that. And so certain situations will lead me back into intuition, lead me back into soul. Okay. And so this is what's happening. During ego degradation, the person starts to realize, I can't live life through my mind anymore. I can't choose a particular path that hasn't been serving me anymore, because my life, I need to do better than this. My life needs to be better. Okay. But there is that part, and again, this only if it resonates with you, where it looks like everything is falling apart. I recommend, do not judge. You got to come out of judging the twin flame for anything they're going through. Like, this person is this person. No. Judging. And plus, judging, that's the law of manifestation. And there is a law. When you judge someone, it comes back to you. Maybe law of reciprocity or something like that. We judge others. It's a reflection. That's another law of something in you. Whatever you're judging on could be in you. Maybe it's teaching you to stop judging. Or it gets created. There's a lot that goes on with the laws of the universe that we could not escape. Okay? We got to take that into consideration. And I know you might be like, 𝐾𝐸, the mind is strong, the mind is tough. I don't know how to transcend this thing. Well, do it. Oh boy, there's a phone going off. All right. And so do it. You know, your soul is guiding you. It's not here to hurt you. It feels like it. whatever it's guiding, even if it says you need to pull your energy away from this person, you need to focus more on yourself right now. The mind says, oh my goodness, if I do that, I'm going to lose a connection and all this kind of, no, you're not. No, you're not. You can't lose a connection with yourself. You cannot lose a connection God intended for you. And I understand some of you are like, my journey is not unfolding this way. You can't lose a connection that God intends for you. I didn't specify a person. Okay? You can't lose a connection God intended for you. So that's something to really work with the mind that feels like it needs to grip and hold on to and all this kind of stuff. No, it does not. It does not. Your soul is leading this. Your soul is leading this. And the experiences are reflecting within. So rather than just leaving it like it is, my twin flames doing this, or other people are doing these things, my coworkers are a bunch of losers, or whatever it is that you tell yourself, I don't know what it is. Okay. Perhaps there's positive things, and that's wonderful. That's a reflection of the positivity within yourself as well. And so rather than just leaving it like that, you use the mirror in a way that's like, how is this appearing in my physical reality? Am I doing this? Am I actually doing this to myself? Am I doing this to other people without realizing I'm doing that? Am I not keeping my word? How much do I trust myself? Because I want trust from someone. I can't seem to trust them because perhaps I haven't learned to fully trust myself. And before you say, I do trust myself, your intuition, like all of it, when it talks to you, like every bit, and you follow it without question, and you just align. And your needs, you're meeting your needs instead of saying, not right now. Because every time you have a particular need and your inner voice, your inner person says, hey, I need this from you. And you're like, oh, not right now. Guess who feels avoided? Guess who feels avoided? The person in you. And what gets reflected on the outside? Avoidance. Because it's showing that you're avoiding yourself. So one of the things on this journey is when we're so focused on the other person, we abandon our own selves. Okay? It's not a blame thing. I wouldn't do these videos to blame you for anything. Okay? But to offer ways for you to experience healing and find peace on your journey, because I know it is not peaceful. It is not peaceful when you're focusing on the other person, wondering who, what, when, where, why, when's it going to happen, and why they're acting that way. I don't care. It's like whatever it is, positive, negative, it's all focusing on the person. Oh, they did so well today. Today, everything's great. They're great. So therefore, I'm great. And then you're riding the emotion based on what they're thinking, doing, feeling, and saying today. Okay? It's not about that. It's not about that. And I know there is no peace in that. So I'm here to offer ways for you to find peace on your journey while your soul does the heavy work for you, okay, and takes care of everything, and you trust and believe. Okay. And if your mind, because my mind works this way, will start to look for, but what if, but maybe, I think, and someone else said something in that, no, no, this is about your soul, your inner knowing, your connection with yourself, your intuition, and God. And everything else in the physical takes care of itself. Okay? And then recognizing your own patterns too. A lot of us have some toxic traits. And I'll admit to mine. I don't hide from mine and that kind of stuff. And I don't recommend you hide from yours either. The part of you that say, I'm not going to control, I'm not going to have expectation, but then it creeps up on you and you're like, I need it to be my way. Be truthful with yourself. Ooh, this leads to something else. We're going on for a while, you know. My next video, I'll bring out the whiteboard. I'll figure out present or invite. I wonder what that is. I'm gonna get this figured out. All right. So keep you guys like zero in and paying attention. All right. What was it that came up? Here's where the mirroring affects you. This is a big one. Okay. You haven't heard this from anywhere. You haven't heard this. It's when we feel like something's going on, something's off. It's a feeling. And there's a part of us that says, I can't look at that. I don't want it to be true. I feel like something's going, I feel like there's another person. I feel like there's a karmic. I feel like they're slipping away. I feel like they're coming towards the feeling. And when it doesn't feel good, we tell ourselves, I don't want to face it. I feel it. I'm seeing signs. I want to close my eyes. Believe me, another thing I worked hard at is to keep my eyes open. Because the only way, whatever it is that's creeping in is going to heal is when you face it. When you have a feeling and you face it. This is for the person who needs to hear that. And be real with yourself. It is the only way. And if your intuition says you need to leave this alone right now, because that's going to kick up their healing and all this kind of stuff. Whew, I know it may be heavy on that person, but your intuition is guiding you. It's not here to hurt you. It's not. And it's letting you know. So the only way, whatever it may be, whether it's in a relationship or if you're a leader in you're running a business and something feels off, a team member feels off or something, you're having this feeling, the only way it gets resolved is when you see the truth. Don't run from it. And you use the mirror to heal why that's happening in your physical space. And you can have a conversation, but I'm telling you now, so little will change. Maybe there's exceptions to the rule unless you use the mirror and say, okay, where did that come from? Where did that come from? Because I no longer want that in my reality. Okay? Whatever belief, whatever past experiences, and all this kind of stuff that's showing up here, where on earth did that come from? And let's start transcending that. All right. So normally I introduce myself, but this is towards the end of the video. I'm Machine, and I've been assisting twin flames on their journey to heal from the pain they're experiencing, reconnect with their divine counterpart, and stay there. And one of the reasons to stay there is to recognize ego and begin to break it down. Don't ignore your ego. So the link to the masterclass is right below so you can know ego, understand the ego, use it for healing, dismantle it, and stop letting it run the show so your soul takes over. Okay. And so I appreciate those who are here live and anyone watching the replay. Also, leave your comments. I'm getting through the comments. Okay. So they will be answered today. If you've left comments, continue to leave them. Leave any suggestions for videos that you'd like for us to talk about. And again, much love to everybody. Bye.